As the leader of the Booner Pack, I lead from the front.
All right, boys. Lock in.
It's our core foundation, man. Grit.
I'm fired up. I'm fired the f*** up, boys.
It's pumping right now. It's got my juices pumping, boys.
We are live. Crunch Time Sports, Wednesday, August 13th. Jeff Iafrate and Booner. Joint practice happened today. Lions, Dolphins. We will get into that. We have the doc joining as well. DOC joining the show. So we'll speak to him, everything he saw today. It's going to be a great day. We got tons of stuff to get into that happened today.
Man.
Lions kicked some ass today. They did.
What a day in Allen Park. We weren't able to go. We're going to be there tomorrow morning, but all reports, everything about it, it seems like the Detroit Lions offense and defense just dominated today. So me and you actually had the conversation yesterday, Jeff, like for the offense. Do they need to put on a performance? And there was just no question that I tweeted it out today. I actually think it's a testament to what this defense is. Once I started seeing the reports that the Lions offense was dominating and then the defense as well was dominating the Dolphins offense, instantly my first thought, Jeff, was for the last few weeks to just been saying, hey, this could be a top five defense. And then you hear these reports, I was right away. That was the first thing that I thought of. This defense is just that good.
Yeah, they are. I mean, it was a big test today because, we've only seen the Lions offense and defense go up against each other, but now you get to see a joint practice. And I know, trust me, I know it's the Dolphins. I understand. And they didn't have Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle.
And then they had Jalen Waddle.
See, he was out there a little bit. He was as well. But the Lions didn't have Taron Arnold, Kirby Joseph, Aleem McNeil. I mean, they had guys that didn't play either. So, kind of goes both ways.
For sure.
So I think the defense today, even without their number 2 corner, starting safety, all-pro safety, Aleem McNeil, obviously, he's not going to be here for a little bit, but they have injuries. They kicked ass. I mean, I won't get to all that because I have tweets I could pull up here to kind of go through and actually give people like context to how good
there's videos
the actually was.
There's a lot of videos too. The defense and it's the testament to this whole thing, Jeff, of going into a day like today with questions of the offense and just not the fact that, hey, they just had a good day, that both sides of the ball dominated the way they did. That it wasn't close. That the Detroit Lions, I see people tweeting at me, well, the Dolphins just that bad. Dude, this is the NFL. The fact that even both sides of the ball were just doing what they were doing, that makes it a little, his team might be really, really good. I know everyone had a little questions, this and that. Defense is better than it's ever been in a Dan Campbell era. In the offense, there's questions because you lose the best OC in the NFL. Seems like they got a rhythm today. So I'm pumped up to talk about it. I'm pumped up to hear what the doc. The doc was there, so we get to have that conversation. And
I agree
with
Allen Park Texans are going to be an even better test.
I think offensively, the Texans are going to be the biggest test because of that secondary that they have.
Yeah, and those 2 pass rushers they got, it'll be good for them. Lions Troll, appreciate that. Remember, for 15 months.
That's we go.
Big time, Lions Troll, appreciate you. You are an OG. Christian Howell says, let's get it, boys. Curious to see how Jeff feels about Stewart's comments after today's belt-to-ass session.
Did Grant Stewart's comment, did he say something else? Oh, you're saying the comments were before. Yeah, Jeff, you just need to sit on your hands and shut up on that one.
I will say.
Sound like Grant Stewart had a good day, too.
No, but here's the thing. I didn't think he wasn't going to have a good day. I didn't think the Lions weren't going to have a good day. It was just, we knew that.
You still think he shouldn't have said anything?
I'll say this. It's not the end of the world, just not something I love.
Can I ask you this then? Was he wrong after hearing what happened today? Was he wrong?
No, it was never wrong, by the way. I never disagree with.
So what are you?
It's just saying it being like, oh yeah, they're soft or whatever. He said, they don't practice how we practice. It's like, all right, dude. I mean, but he is right. I mean, today they whooped ass. And Grant Stewart was seeing some of the tweets from reporters. Like it was physical for Grant Stewart. He was coming in there like a heat seeking. Yeah, he was letting them know, like, remember me in Tampa Bay? I'm here to inflict pain on somebody, Yeah. So, yeah, I saw, I think it was Justin Rogers said this today, but I've seen other people put this out too. I've heard the words, I've never seen a more dominant joint practice in my time covering the Lions. I've heard that from like
multiple reporters put that out.
That means something. I don't care if it's the Dolphins. I don't care who it is. That because if they would have had a back and forth day, we would be talking about it. So the fact that they dominated the Dolphins, we have to at least bring that up.
Yeah, I agree.
Which means that's crazy. The most dominant joint practice they've ever had. Which you got to factor in too. 2 new coordinators. They have injuries, and they look that good.
To be honest, too, last year the Lions went up against a worse team in joint practices with the New York Giants, and it wasn't this lopsided.
And they said, this was more dominant.
And you would say that this Dolphins team's a little bit better than last year's Giants, in my opinion. I know they were missing Tyreek.
Oh yeah,
but just as a whole, this Dolphins team's better, better everything, in my opinion. I just don't see a world though. You look at this and just go, hey, today was impressive. I hope tomorrow morning when we get there, it's something similar. I hope we're able to see the same dominance and that Lions team goes in there and they have that same mindset and just completely take over the practice. If you're Mike McDaniel, I don't even know, like you go into a practice like that and then that happens. You're like, this was just the biggest waste of time. We should have just practiced on our own.
Well, it's like, what do you say? What do you tell the team after that today?
Has a coach ever been fired after a joint practice?
I think today it might be insignificant, it might be small, but it does signal that he's on the hot seat for sure. I think even if it's a little bit, maybe from a joint practice, we already kind of knew he was on the hot seat.
Yeah,
you show up at a joint practice and you get destroyed the way
it's embarrassing, dude.
That's embarrassing. And I mean, we can just get into it. We have plenty of content to go through. I want to show, because we'll get to Amon-Ra. He dominated today. We'll get to him. I have videos of him speaking to the media, but I want to just talk about the defense real quick. And Hutchinson, by the way, as advertised again, but Colton Pouncey put this out from The Athletic. This is what was insane. Easily the most impressive thing I've seen in terms of what happened today. Dolphins offense just ran 16 or so plays in the red zone versus the Lions and didn't score until the final play between the second units. Miami's first team offense didn't score.
That's crazy.
In the first 7 to 8 plays versus Detroit's first team defense. Now, mind you, Miami offensive head coach, and they got destroyed versus the Detroit's first team offense or defense, excuse me. And I know they didn't have
Wait a
Tyreek.
second.
I don't care though.
So first team, they didn't score at all in 7 to 8 plays. The only time they scored was when the second unit was out there. Is that what I'm reading correctly?
Yeah, and you're talking about 16. Now we're getting to 16 plays. It's and they score.
That's crazy. In the red zone too.
There's probably one score. What is it? A score or two in 16 or so plays. That's crazy. What's that red zone conversion rate? That's that's terrible. I mean, you're not and this is why we talked about yesterday, Boone. That's why the joint practices are more valuable because you can actually do situational stuff like that.
For
and
sure.
Be like, are we a good red zone defense rather than a preseason game where, I saw Pat Mahomes last week just come in, throw a TD catch and leave. It's what do you take from that? You actually get to see them today.
Yeah. I heard Derek Barnes today mention this, and I think there's a lot of truth to it, is he kind of dunked on everyone. It was like, hey, look what happens when we have our first team defense fully healthy. This is a different defense. Last year, and this is, we always had the conversation that last year, why could this team ever win a Super Bowl? No, because they didn't have a defense. They had guys. The defense was just so torn apart. This year, I mean, this defense, this is the best. You could argue, Jeff, and I'm crazy for saying this. I've been saying the top 5. This could be the best defense in the NFL if this whole defense stays healthy and guys are playing at the high. That defense today, there's no Tyreek. TA's out. Aleem McNeil's out. You don't have Josh Pascal yet. You don't have Rodrigo as kind of that fill-in. There's just so many guys that are still going to come back to this defense, and everyone's healthy. You
got a rookie at defensive tackle. You got a rookie out there. All due respect, Tyreek, he's a good rookie, but you got a rookie.
And who's your other corner right now outside of with TA out? You Rocky Sin, who I think is a great player, but you're talking about a Rocky Sin to a Terrion Arnold. That's, to me, big difference, right? That's a jump. That's a starting corner to a kind of a role player. in the NFL, and they're still out there dominating. I think Kelvin Shepherd, honestly, Jeff, when I said it the other day, I fully meant it. I think it's going to be the truest thing ever. Yeah, Kelvin got all the pieces, but I think having a new voice in there and a kind of a new outlook and his kind of what's the word you want to use on it? Like his juice on it or his own
vision.
twist.
I mean, I think his vision.
Yeah, I think it's going to end up being better than AG's because he's essentially using exactly what AG did with a little bit of a twist to it. And that's no knock at AG, but AG was never going to have that twist on it because it was his defense, right? Like his twist was already on it. Now you bring a guy in with a different voice, a different mindset. Hey, I know this defense like the back of my head. But hey, I had some opinions and things I wanted to do. I just couldn't do because it wasn't my defense. And he's doing it now. And I think with the healthy guys, this defense is going to be a problem. I think it's just like the fact that this Lions offense has struggled for weeks because they've been going up against his defense. And then as soon as the Lions offense steps away from them, plays a different defense, they are like blossoming. And then the defense is getting stops on 16 plays in the red zone. It's incredible. It actually is. This team from top to bottom, your worst part right now is special teams because you get 500 million penalties in the preseason on special teams.
Yeah, I think wholeheartedly, if they stay healthy, they can be one of the best defenses. I think on paper, I don't know how you can't. I mean, DJ Reed today was very good. They didn't have Terran Arnold. They didn't have Kirby, but they had Brian. And Brian and Kirby, DJ Reed, Terran Arnold in his second year, you expect him to take a jump.
For sure.
And then you factor in who they have at linebacker, which they have a very good three linebackers out there. Just the back half of the defense on paper looks very good. And then you get to up front. And if you're talking about Aiden playing the way he's playing, Davenport, which by the way, Davenport today,
was he good?
I was told apparently he had a couple of good plays. I mean, he put pressure up the middle. Actually Giovanni Manu talked about Davenport and said like this dude's. It's never. I'm not trying to act like Davenport's like a all pro edge rusher, but I think we all can agree he's good. He just doesn't stay healthy.
When he plays, he's good. He can play football. He's a good football player.
He just doesn't stay healthy, which that's like the biggest question mark. But he's on there if he's healthy. You got to factor him in. You have DJ Reader, Tyleek, Aleem. They have depth on the interior. Like on paper, this defense, there's no question. I think personally, you're doing them a disservice or you're trying, if you don't say they'll be a top defense, like that should be your expectation. They have the personnel for it. Like we should, I get Calvin's a first year coordinator, but my expectation is one of the best defenses in the league. And I think
this is a good moment for us because today was a big day for the defense and it has been the last few weeks. Me and you had a conversation a couple weeks ago. Want to know if you changed your tune. I had brought up in a segment we did, what's more likely the Lions to have a top 5 offense, a top 5 defense, and
a defense.
We both, I believe, said offense last time.
Yeah, I would.
And we said defensively, we were like, they're going to be top 10. I think I might have went defense because I've been saying for a while they're going to be. I feel like they could be top
the
5.
tricky part of it is we know offensively we've seen it. Defensively,
and they have those weapons too.
Faith. Yeah, they have the weapons, so it's like it's easy to say offense, but I'm leaning. I'll say this. How about this? Instead of saying, "Oh, we'll just flip it," I'm way more confident in the defense being top 5 for sure. I am.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, like
I think too, it's such a crazy thing that when we've had conversations about winning Super Bowls, and we always say, and you brought it up last year when you brought the stats, like, hey, you have to have a top 7 or 8 defense to win a Super Bowl. That's essentially kind of what it comes down to.
Right.
The fact that it's not that they just are going to have a chance to have a top 5 defense; they're going to have a chance to have top 5 defense and offense. That should make people think outside of the coordinator situation. You could argue the Lions are the best team in football if this defense is at that level. Say the offense stays around the similar level, Jeff, top 5. If the defense is there, what other teams in the NFL have top 5 in both?
You're talking about Super Bowl contenders. I mean,
yeah, but it's
Eagles,
but realistically, me and you have done the stats and we went and looked at the history of that multiple times the last few years. I don't know if there's been teams that have finished the season maybe 1 to 2 a year, top 5 in both of those categories. I think maybe 1 or 2 a year, if that. That's rare. That's tough to do. They have the weapons and the players to do it, and it sounds like right now. Obviously, it's still camp, but it sounds like that's what the kind of trajectory of what's happening right now in Allen Park.
Yeah, that doesn't mean that it won't take time early to adjust. I think they do, like Andrew brings up the schedule. They do have a tough schedule.
For sure.
You know, same goes for offense. Like, I think the defense will click earlier, but I'm going to give the defense grace, just like I would give the offense, because they're both new coordinators. I mean, I think I think what me and you were talking about is by the end of the year, what they look like.
Yeah. If they're a top 5 defense and offense at the end of the season going into the playoffs, it's hard. It's hard to stop those teams. It really is.
Yeah, it is. Especially the way Hutch is playing. And today he was no different. He apparently in like a 3-play stretch, he had 2 sacks.
No, so this was 2 drives.
Well, I know I was told, like, apparently people say he had 2 sacks. I don't know. I don't know really what's right and what's wrong, because I'll ask the doc about it too. But regardless, he kicked ass. All right, yeah. He kicked ass today as well, and he dominated along with Davenport, sprinkling in some pressures and stuff. But
I saw a quote today too from Terrion Arnold. Someone asked him, can't remember who it was. I apologize if they're watching and I don't credit correctly, but someone spoke with TA today and they said TA goes, I'm playing tomorrow. And they're like full pads. He says, I'm going to be out there tomorrow. Like, he was just like so empathetic about I have to be out on the field tomorrow. So we're going to see this defense with TA tomorrow, Jeff. Essentially a healthy defense outside of Aleem.
I can't wait. It's just the injuries. That's the only thing. It's with everything, though. I mean, that's an obvious point. But if they can stay relatively healthy, they're going to be very good. And I think that's why, like, someone brought up the Zadarius Smith question. I saw it today too. Like, Davenport's been looking better. Does this maybe allow Brad to be a little more flexible with Zadarius, or maybe he doesn't feel like they need him as much? I think I do think that Brad Holmes, if you were to ask him just like fit wise, I think he would say, whether you agree with it or not, he would prefer Davenport, because Davenport can defend the run and do all this other stuff. Obviously, Zadarius is more of just a pass rusher, but we can all agree that they still need some juice. They need insurance.
Yeah.
But if Davenport can just stay healthy, which is a lot to ask, he does fit scheme-wise what they want in a D end. Like, he's a power rusher. He can play the run. He can set the edge. He's big. He's physical. It's just the dude just staying healthy, but he's been stacking up good practice. Like, I'm excited to see him tomorrow.
I think
stacking up some good practices lately.
I am pumped to see him. Listen, this happened last year with Davenport, though, to where we all had these conversations about Davenport stacking practices, having good days, and he gets hurt in week 2 or week 3, and it's, hey, this was what we knew was going to happen. So if I'm Brad, I get it. Davenport's more your style. He's more that I don't want to say a tweener, but a bigger kind of body that's going to stop the run and can still get to the quarterback. So, like, yeah, that's ideal for the defense that they've built. Cool. You still need to have a backup plan, because if he doesn't work out, you can't put all of your chips in the basket on that one, man. You really can't. You have to have a backup plan. And if AQM or Keith Cooper or, Ahmed is your backup plan, I'm not that confident in it. I think they can do decent. But talking about playing at that same level, that's where I start to get a little iffy.
Yeah, I agree with that. I did see too, J-Mo and Iffy squaring up. Do you see that,
dude? How does that happen? And the players get asked about it. Amon-Ra gets at. He's like, I have no clue. He was like, I was walking away. I didn't even know what was going on. Taylor Decker, same thing. He's like, I don't know. Well, how did you even get to that point? They must have to square up like that. And are we allowed to say what Easy text us?
Yeah.
Dude, Easy text us. I'll read it. Easy said, I almost read Chris's text about joining the fantasy basketball league. Shout out Chris who's watching. But Easy said J-Mo started the fight with Iffy. He got punched in the face, went to block the second punch with his helmet, and got punched, and his helmet got punched into his face. So I don't know. Listen, this is what Easy texted us and said that J-Mo started it and got 2 to the face, one with the fist and one with the helmet. So, and then they broke it up. I don't know if Easy was joking or not.
He wasn't joking.
Okay, so I was serious. All right.
But I'll say with J-Mo, it's like, I don't care. I mean, it happens. It's football, man. You're going to,
you're having it. But I just think it's more so it's Iffy, because Iffy's been on the team. That's crazy.
And let's keep it a stack right now. Is Iffy the dude you want to fight? Probably not. He's 6'3",
Big dude,
lean dude. I probably wouldn't want to scrap that dude. Long arms.
Yeah.
So JMO, try and pick on if you want to scrap, man, I would suggest maybe Tua. I would say
there's no way this guy just pulled Tua out. That's such a crazy bull. That was literally, honestly, Jeff, that was the last person I thought you were gonna say is Tua.
I don't know. Actually, I don't even think. I think Tua could probably. He might be a sleeper too. He might be
Hey, Tua's from what? He's
I think he does jujitsu actually. So
what is it though? Panay Sewell, is it like Samoan or?
Yeah, I think he is Samoan, or he's got maybe that's true.
You don't mess
maybe
around.
Jack Jones. Amon-Ra was fighting him all day, like in a football way, and destroying him. So maybe you can throw hands with him. Don't do it with Iffy.
If he's low key too, like big dude.
He's a big dude.
And he's like strong too. It's not like he's just a big dude that's not strong. Iffy might be like that.
We need listen. We need you healthy, JMO. So
yeah,
don't.
He got hit. If he made contact twice, helmet and fist.
Yeah, they were squaring off a little bit. Shut up, Lucas, by the way.
Lucas, if he is eating Lucas for dinner.
Oh, taking his lunch.
100%.
He's going to get shoved into a locker. That's what he's going to do.
Honestly, you know how Lucas always said, remember we say it all the time, Lucas always says he wants to like smack a random person to see how they react. That would be Iffy to Klotz. Like if he would hit him and Klotz would be like, he would have no clue what to do.
Lucas would be the person that's like, it'd be like, how would he react to that? That'd be Lucas. He wouldn't know what to do.
Sure.
He wouldn't know what to do. He wouldn't. I will say, positive note, the O-line today, Taylor Decker.
Hold on a sec, dude. When Lucas does say like smacking a random person, see how they react. Just think about like for us, like we're in the media. Imagine if we're like at Allen Park and a player just has that thought and just smacks like you. And he just like wants to see how you react to it. Panay Sewell not even like Hendon Hooker comes up to me tomorrow and just gives me a smack, just right across the face, and just like how does Booner react after talking all of that?
I think that's why I love when Lucas says it. And for people that don't, Lucas isn't going to go smack her in person, but what he says is, some people just have that vibe where you're like, that guy's never been smacked before. I wonder what would happen if he got smacked. Like, how would he react? Like, I think he said that about Mike Florio. Like Mike Florio. If someone just went up and smacked Mike Florio, how would he react? You know what I'm saying? Now, funny. If Grant Stewart
would you sue? I would not sue. If Hendon Hooker hit me or smacked me, we're fighting probably. I'm definitely doing something back.
If Grant Stewart smacked me, I think I would. After I wake up, I would have to decide what I would do. But I would go to sleep probably. That's a scary.
I hope Grant Stewart hits you. Coach Walk said you would deserve it, Booner. Probably, but guess what? I'm fighting back. ETN, I've been smacked and I've smacked. That sounds okay.
I don't know that didn't come out the way you intended it to. I'll just say that. That did not come out the way you intended. All
right, let's move on. We got things to talk about. We got things to talk about. Come on now.
Yeah. Well, the O-line today, Boone, they played well. The O-line did that. You know what? I will say when we've been there, the O-line's been, a little
tough, struggled.
It's been a little tough. Yeah, they didn't have Taylor Decker today. They had Taylor Decker. Jared Goff was protected. And you know what I thought was very interesting? And I saw Justin Rogers said this, what he saw. I think it was Colton Pouncey, actually. Colton Pouncey put this out. Tate Ratledge. You know what he did today? And he's going to be good. Really good, by the way. And you already know that. But he had a play where he blocked his man, like probably threw him on the ground, whatever. Turned around, and there was a free man. He blocked that guy and gave Jared like an extra second, like just like chipped, like just a little like shove.
Yeah.
And Jared threw like a dime to Amon-Ra St. Brown. But I think it was just like the I guess the know-it-all to be like, got him. Okay, get him. Like it's just like that. I don't know. He's a rookie and he's just
it's the instincts. It's having it's guys that like they're like veteran instincts, but this guy's essentially a rookie. It was Christian, right? You said?
No, sorry.
Or Tate. Tate, like he played at Georgia for that long. He's probably played with the best versus the best. He's got that instinct. Like I know what I need to do right away. I think I heard it today. Like Taylor Decker, they asked him, "Hey Taylor, how's Tate? Like, do you think that he's kind of slowly coming on to playing at this level? And is he scared of guys? Like, what's going on?" And he goes, not worried about it. He's not scared of a soul on the football field. And this is a rookie. It's not even like a first round rookie. He's like what, third round rookie? This is a guy. It's like he's a third round pick. Second round pick. Sorry, even better, but second round pick who got passed up by 40 teams.
Yeah,
50 teams. And he's that good. Like instantly, he's a starting guard in the NFL day one. And all these teams passed on him. And he's going to end up in his career being a Pro Bowler at one point. I bet you in his career, an All-Pro guard or center. That's how good he is. So I think, and two, the story about Tate today with the DB. Who was the DB?
Jack Jones.
I heard Amon-Ra call him Jack. I think he was kind of trolling him there. That's kind of funny. Jack.
Isn't that the baby in Incredibles?
Yeah, that's tough. And I don't think like Amon-Ra, he mentioned today that he didn't play with him. He didn't play against them. They're just from the same area. So he's like familiar with them. He obviously has probably trained with him. Hitting him with the Jack, unless that's his actual nickname, that has to be one of the most disrespectful things of all time.
It might
be. Jack.
That would be disrespectful. Unless he's cool with it, that sounds.
That's like calling you like Jeffy. Like, oh, it's okay, Jeffy. Like, it's okay, Jack. Don't worry.
You're basically calling him baby food.
Yeah.
Intended. Yeah.
So at the end of the day, and then like Phil said, they know each other, but like they're not. I don't think they're best friends. They didn't play on the same team together. They just grew up in the same area, trained at times together. So, but all right, back to the original story. Tate Ratledge went at him, and he tried to Tate Ratledge. I can't even remember the exact story. We should have had Taylor Decker.
I think they just squared. I heard they squared up like they were like nose to nose.
Oh, yeah. So they asked Taylor Decker about it, and Taylor Decker was like, who was it? Who did Tate square up with? And he goes, oh, it said it was a DB. He goes, oh, a DB? He's lucky he didn't get chokeslammed by Tate. He's like, little DB. It was nuts, dude. I was just like, I told you before the show, there's definitely different levels to just being a player in the NFL. And like, O-line is number one. You just do not mess with the offensive line.
Yeah, you did. No, you don't. Then Amon-Ra actually broke it up. I think that's what I saw. Or I didn't. But he came in and was like, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Hey, Jack. Not the guy. I'm just gonna tell you, not the guy you want to beef with. It's
like the only guy on the team.
It's not even like a Aaron Donald Panay where it's like two dudes that are scared. Like, no, dude, what is he, 6 foot versus 6'7", 300 plus pounds? Like, you're done. You're absolutely done. I didn't hear anything about Kenneth Grant. I wish I didn't paint. I don't know if he had a good day or not. Obviously, the O-line had a good day, so I would assume he didn't have a great day. I did see Chop Robinson went down. He was carted off the edge they have. So he got injured. But Panay pancaked him, I think, one of the plays, or threw him on the ground.
Yeah, I saw Al Carson put out that they went 4 times one-on-one, and Panay won every single one. First shot.
That's got to be so frustrating, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you're basically just like, I mean.
It also puts a little bit in perspective what we've been watching the last month with Panay and Aiden Hutchinson. Like, Aiden Hutchinson, I'm not saying he's constantly beating Panay, but you would say like the reps are 50-50 to where Panay gets up against a guy like him. And he's, Chop. I'm not saying Chop's one of the best in the league, but he's good.
He's not bad, yeah.
He's a good edge rusher. He's their best edge rusher, and you could argue top 35 maybe in the NFL at his position. And he just can't win one rep.
Destroys him.
And Hutch can spin move, bull rush, anything he wants. It feels like at times.
Yeah, but that's the iron sharpens iron, basically. Yeah. That's how that goes. Well, Taylor Decker, you're referring to him speaking to the media. He did speak about the offense. This is Brad Galley. He put this video out. Here's Taylor Decker speaking about the offense bouncing back today.
Felt good. Yeah. You can usually get a general vibe of how it went out there. The ball security still wasn't there. That's something we've been preaching. We still need to do better at that. But overall, the execution of the offense, the physicality, the finish, it seemed like it was there.
Is this the best it's felt since training camp started?
I would say so. One thing, we have a really good defense that we practice against. So, the yards are going to be tough to come by. And then you get a new opponent. And just with the way that we practice and the tempo that we practice at, we play that way. So when we get in games, it's harder for other people to keep up. And I think that pays dividends. It's hard on you as a player. You got to recover. You got to take care of yourself. But when it goes to playing against other teams, I think it pays dividends. Felt good.
Yeah, and that's Decker, by the way. Decker's been observing practice. He's been watching.
Yeah.
So he got to see the offense kind of struggle. Like he got to be like a sideline. We were there and he was on the sideline watching everything. And then now he played today. So he has like a great perspective of like seeing it from like a coach's view and then actually playing. And he's like, yeah, this defense has been tough all camp. Like it's not even effective. Like the offense is obviously taking a little time. I'm not worried about it, but yeah, today it just seemed like it was just boiling. Like the offense, it's like, it's like in any NFL game. If a really good offense has like a bad game or two, you're like, there's going to be the next game where they just erupt. Like it's going to click. And it seemed like today they just took everything out on the Dolphins.
I feel like eventually this thing had to turn. And
they just
today was the day. And the fact that I think the biggest thing is that Taylor Decker, like he said in his press conference today, that even the last couple of days when they've been getting a little bit better, he's been limited, right? Like, and not in a bad way, where he's just trying to get reps in and slowly get back into things to make sure he's in good enough shape to kind of fully go. He said today, he said like 20 plus snaps, which is essentially, you do a scrimmage. That's most of the scrimmage. So having a healthy offensive line, and Amon-Ra mentioned it as well today, that when you protect Jared Goff, he's one of the best in the league. And that was something me and you, when we're going to practice for a couple of weeks, you're seeing Jared Goff having to throw the ball away. You're seeing him have to make quick decisions, make plays. And he has zero time. He had zero time the last few weeks. Now with Taylor Decker back, I would say the Miami Dolphins D-line is terrible, decent. They're getting stops, and then they're locking in, and they're giving Jared Goff enough time to be able to make decisions, make the right throws. Him and Amon-Ra getting open. I saw a couple plays. Like I saw a play the Miami Dolphins actually posted it, a ball to J-Mo, where J-Mo looked like, they said, I don't know, was it Minka? Is it Minka or someone broke it up? I think it was a drop potentially. I heard J-Mo dropped a couple balls today, and me and you saw it firsthand a couple weeks ago. J-Mo's been dropping some passes. And I think that he today dropped a couple as well, it sounded like. But outside of that, offense seems like it is a lockstep again. And I think it's because that offensive line anchors down and they're good to go. And that's when Taylor's back as well.
And I don't know, I don't want to say this. This is just an observation, because J-Mo has a lot of great days. But it seems like when he has bad days, it seems like it's like when it rains, it pours a little bit. Like when he has the day where he has like a couple drops, it's like, okay, it's not a good day from J-Mo, and that's okay. He's, it's going to happen. But you don't see, like with Amon-Ra, you'll see a drop and then doesn't drop a ball the rest of practice. Like it's like a quick turnaround for him. It seems like J-Mo is still, maybe that's just the maturing part, not obviously like maturing in other ways. I'm talking about just football maturity, where it's, maybe guys just understand that, or they can lock in after that. Maybe you get in your head a little too much. I don't know. But J-Mo, we were there, and he dropped a couple balls in warm-ups. Like they were doing just like wide receiver drills. He dropped a couple, and then we got on the field, he dropped a couple. And today,
it feels like one leads to the other and leads to the next. Where Amon-Ra, that happens, and he's able to be like, okay, this isn't happening again.
It's not, exactly. He bounces back a lot quicker. So J-Mo today, I didn't see too much. I know he had a touchdown today, I did see. So he ended up bouncing back, making some plays. But overall, I did. It was the Amon-Ra St. Brown show, which I saw Al Karsten put this tweet out, which it gives people a better understanding of what he actually did today. He put this tweet: Amon-Ra St. Brown just beat Dolphins corner. Well, by the way, Lions put out a highlight montage. I think
we got to play that. We got to play that.
I think Jack Jones was in like 5 of those clips. So I don't know what.
Amon-Ra dominated today. The highlight clip and in a practice for it's almost like a minute and a half. That's insane.
That's insane for a joint practice.
Yeah.
It was a highlight reel. But it says Amon-Ra St. Brown just beat Dolphins cornerback Jack Jones for 2 straight TDs and red zone drills. The first, a breadbasket, one-handed snag in the corner of the end zone. On the day, St. Brown might be sitting at 12-plus catches for 250 yards. He's been flawless with no drops and constantly open in every drill. Jones has had a rough outing, and Lions first-team offensive players have let him hear about it more than once after the whistle. It's probably why he's been scrapping with everyone as well. But he had you're referring now. Is it on their? Did they post that on their? Twitter?
They posted it on their Lions Twitter.
Oh,
it's like it's a whole minute, and within it we can rewind and watch the. I think he had one of the greatest catches in NFL history. When it comes to practice.
Yeah, so it was a minute-long highlight tape.
It's crazy.
Of Amon-Ra just absolutely putting on a show.
Wait, can you rewind that? Right up. Oh my gosh. The eruption too. That's beat him.
This is bad.
On the helmet. On the helmet. The punt. And the punt's disrespectful too, man.
Here he goes again. Just wide open. Yeah, I don't know what he was on today, dude. That's another touchdown.
Another touchdown.
Yeah. Open again. I mean, it is kind of crazy what this dude was doing up there.
Insane. Another one? Just keeps going. Can you just the first three catches again? The first three are that?
Yeah, that route was nasty.
Bro, what?
That route was absolutely nasty. That was a little stutter. And then this is getting better than you.
This helmet catch too is.
And he held on to it the entire time.
This guy's different.
No, he.
Do you ever think like if you were that good at something in life, just to be able to just dominate a day like that? Imagine just like waking up, I'm about to dominate the day, and you'll never exceed what Amon-Ra today woke up and did. Never.
No, he put on a absolute clinic. Like that's what you know. What though, and this is why he is a top 5 wide receiver, because that's what guys like Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson do in these environments. They just dominate. Like there's not even a room to question who the best receiver on the field is. So when Amon-Ra comes out, and if I remember correctly, I don't think he's had days like this. Like this is just showing that he's had good days in joint practices, obviously, but this is Amon-Ra hitting his like I'm that guy. Like
feels like he's like letting the people know.
Yeah, I cannot be guarded. I'm going to catch every single pass that's thrown my way. And Jared Goff protected today. Like I got some clips I do want to share with the people here from Amon-Ra speaking, but he was protected, and you saw what happens when he's protected. So I have 2 clips here I'm going to play back to back. It's Amon-Ra talking about Isaac Tesla, and then he goes right into Jared Goff.
Real quick, I know we have the dot coming up here. I do want to ask, is there a world after seeing like today, and just because we've never seen Amon-Ra at this level, we've seen him for 2 times, first team All-Pro back to back. Is there a world being like he's getting better?
Oh yeah.
Because he's already top 5.
You can get better, and your stats might not like this. He can be a better player than he was.
It feels like he's gotten better. It does, and that's crazy to say.
Better than his. I think he was better last year. He was a better player last year than the 1,500-yard season. He just didn't have the numbers. Like he's better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Honestly, I just wouldn't be shocked this year. I think he's going to have 1,500 yards again. There's no way. There's no way he doesn't.
The JMO leads the team in receiving crowd. Where are you guys at?
Over. It's done.
Yeah, we got to.
It's not
I'm telling you guys that since the beginning. Like we got to slow down with that because Amon-Ra St. Brown is that dude. He's that guy. Absolutely. All right. Here's Amon-Ra and Tesla, and then he gets right into Jared Goff. We'll play it back to back. But here's the man of the day.
The ball was on his helmet, so as long as that ball wasn't moving, I think I'm good. But like I said, it was in the moment. I hope I was in. But yeah, it was a pretty good catch and throw by us. Okay, that's all good. Then that's always good. Then.
Hey, what happened at the end? Is there some bad blood with Iffy in the receiving corps?
Yeah, I have no idea. I was walking back and I just looked back and I see JMO and Iffy, but I'm not sure what happened. Like I said, I was late to it. Probably some just competing. Probably.
Boil over at some points, and there was a part where Tesla had some bites and he wasn't afraid to go up. What do you like to see out of young guys investing in that moment?
Yeah, you love to see young guys compete. That's the biggest thing. Isaac's putting his head in there. He's blocking, and that's something I feel like as a young guy, us older players respect that because that's just telling us. When he's out there, when he's with us out there on Sundays, he's gonna, put his life on the line. He's gonna block, go get that safety. The catching, the running routes, that's going to come easy for him. That's what we do. We run routes, we catch balls. So, for young guys to go in there and put their head in there and hit guys that maybe they've never hit, their first joint practice of their career. Things get chippy, guys start fighting. I mean, you don't want to fight in joint practices, but it happens. But just being able to compete for young guys, I think this is one of the best things they can do.
So what about Iffy at the end there?
I mean, Jared, he's consistent. He's the same guy every day. He brings the energy. And I think, if you give Jared protection, he's one of the best in this league. So that's our biggest goal is protecting him, us getting open as receivers, creating that separation. And as long as he's in that pocket, he's going to give us a ball that we can catch, and we're going to do the rest.
He ain't lying, dude.
No.
Jared's protected. He can sling the rock. I mean, that's not even like breaking news. That's just a fact. Like,
I want to be honest with you real quick. I'm more pumped up to hear about this Isaac Tesla stuff. This guy every day just keeps every day, Jeff.
Well, today
something
he got
new.
like a scrap.
Helmet off. Someone pulls his helmet off, doesn't back down, goes farther into the guy and is ready to go.
I saw Christian Mahogany calls him Mayotron.
I saw that as well. Yeah, I saw him Optimus Prime too because he wears the opposite number. I can't remember who tweeted it out. Someone, it might have been, can't remember. Beat writer tweeted that out. But Mayotron's hilarious. That's a good one.
Yeah, Mayotron. Yeah, and by the way, I see CETN. He says, notice if you give him protection. I mean, that's every.
Yes.
Now there's guys. Now here's the
Josh
difference.
Allen, Lamar, Patrick. They need protection. Yeah.
Everyone needs. Did you watch the Super Bowl? Like Mahomes didn't have protection and was scrambling for his life.
Joe Burrow in the Super Bowl, and he had no offensive line.
But here's
the protection.
I think people get it they get it twisted when you hear quarterbacks that can make plays off script. That's different. That's like if you can run around and make plays, but even those guys need protection. Like maybe Jared can't run around like Lamar and make guys miss and find guys. Like that's not his game, but every quarterback needs protection. Like that's a fact. You know what I'm saying? And if every quarterback has protection, they are better. That
I
is
agree.
a fact. He did say I'm stirring shit up, but that's not even for
ETN knows what he's doing.
Yeah, that's not even for ETN. That's more just for people in general. Like that's just for people that even think like, oh, he just needs protection. It's like,
but if you want to play at a top 5 level as a quarterback, you have to have time to be able to make plays.
Yeah,
any quarterback. Patrick Mahomes needs it. We literally have seen it with some of these elite quarterbacks, Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes. Both of them lose a Super Bowl because they don't have the protection. That's just it's what it is. And if you don't have it, you're gonna win some games, but you're not going to be able to win a Super Bowl and be as good as you are and be an MVP. That's why it's so important to have offensive linemen. That's why quarterbacks go all out to give gifts for their offensive linemen in Christmas time because they know how important, and those are their guys. They know how important it is to have dudes in front of them that will do everything they can to protect him. Have you watched Hard Knocks? Deion Dawkins?
Oh.
Did you hear what he said about Josh Allen?
No,
dude, it's the most unselfish thing in the world. Like every time they ask him about Josh Allen or anything, like this guy's just like, we protect our quarterback. Like that is our MVP. We want him to make the plays. If we give him time, he makes plays. Like he is so adamant. Like he never says anything about his own game, about how good he is, about how good some of those old linemen are. It's just all about like, there's one job we have. We get paid $20 million a year to make sure this guy behind me stays safe. And if he does that, you're going to win a lot of games because your quarterback's able to make the decisions. When Jared Goff can just sit back and sling the rock, he is like Amon-Ra's not wrong. He's one of the best in the game right now. Whether people talk about what do they call it? A duck? Whether he has a duck or not, whatever it is, like.
Well, the video we saw with Amon-Ra, it didn't look like too many ducks. Those were dimes.
Feels like Jared's getting better every year too. It's crazy.
It looked like he just had his hands out and the ball just landed right in his hands.
Yeah,
it was pretty. He was accurate. So then that's always been kind of Goff's thing. He's accurate. You can't.
Or the Tesla thing. Jeff, this kid's gonna be so good. I don't know what else to say. The fact that in first joint practice, he's just not scared to just go at it with some like first team DBs, helmet off. I thought I saw Easy tweet out or someone put out there that was there today said that he like headbutted the guy. I don't know if he had a helmet on or not when he did it, but either just a quick jab with the head is crazy.
Well, it is. He's a rookie and he's not backing down, which is important. But the thing with Isaac is I keep saying it, but he's much farther along than I anticipated. I mean, he looks more ready to contribute earlier than I thought, for sure. Like I thought maybe.
Are we starting to get closer with the Tim Patrick, Isaac Tesla thing?
I'm gonna still stay. Just because I think the Lions, how they usually do it, they'll kind of ease him along, but it won't take that. I'm not talking about long term. Like
I almost disagree with that statement. Dan, what has Dan always said?
Well, he wants the best man to
best
play.
player will be on the field.
Yeah,
there's still 3 weeks until the season, and if Isaac keeps doing this every week and Tim struggles, I would love to see the snap count after week 1.
Yeah, if Tim Patrick keeps struggling, then that's a whole nother thing. Because now we're getting into a different conversation. If he's not playing well,
yeah,
if he's not playing well, then that it is what it is. There, who's glazing AJ Brown? Is it what we're doing here? AJ Brown versus Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Amon-Ra. I put a tweet out on our. I don't know if we have time to pull it up, but the stat.
What would you put out?
The stat comparison the last 2 years: Amon-Ra, Justin Jefferson, and Jamar Chase.
I'll pull it up. Let me see. I have it. Oh, here it is. Yeah, I mean this.
I know it's.
You knew what you were doing.
Oh, dude, 100%. I know exactly what I'm doing.
You do. Real recognize real. I know you do.
Good at my job, man. You know.
Yeah, this is. You are very good at your job. This is. I mean, you have catches, rush attempts. Wait, this is like the stats that aren't even.
I mean, they automatically. I can't pick the stats, Jeff. Come on now.
Well, I will say, like, he's not far behind them in receiving yards. He has more than Justin Jefferson.
But here, let me share my screen real quick, because if people want to talk about Amon-Ra and AJ Brown, we can end this like as fast as it started. Are you? Is my screen shared?
Yep. No, now it is. Oh no, you have to hold on. Let me get this.
I got you.
There you go.
I mean, we could end this as fast as it started. AJ Brown's not close.
Yeah, AJ
Brown's not close.
Love AJ Brown. I think Amon-Ra. I would take Amon-Ra every day.
60 more catches, almost 300 more yards, 7 or 8 more touchdowns. 2 All-Pro. They both have 2 All-Pros. Congrats, but 2 Pro Bowls, 2 All-Pros. I mean, I'm taking it. I'm taking Amon-Ra 10 times out of 10.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would take Amon-Ra too.
That's why I think when you look at like top 5, like you can argue Amon-Ra is the 3rd best wide receiver in the NFL right now, outside of Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson. Am I missing someone?
CeeDee Lamb.
Let me add CeeDee in this. Remove my thing for a sec.
I think CeeDee Lamb, you have an argument, but let's
add CeeDee, because I one thing I like to do, Jeff, is I do like to look at the last 2 seasons instead of just like overall career, because it is easy to just be like, it's so easy. Chase Sue.
Well, I think he'll have CeeDee though, because CeeDee was hurt last year. So
that's fair.
He'll
That's
probably
fair.
have him on the receiving.
Fair point.
But
Fair point.
I still want to see it. I mean, what?
Yeah, no, we don't need to see it.
What?
We're good.
Oh, that's funny as hell. He goes,
hey, Jeff.
You checked it?
No, we don't need to see it.
Okay.
There's just some things that are better left unsaid. Is that the same? Yeah.
He checked it and didn't like the numbers were numbering, so he didn't. They're close. They're probably close though, right? They're close.
Yeah,
right?
no, they are close. It's just the problem too, and what people need to realize, like Amon-Ra, like last year had 200 or 300 more, played in 2 more games than CeeDee. The issue is, who else is on the Dallas Cowboys the last 2 seasons doing anything besides CeeDee Lamb? It's just CeeDee.
I mean, yeah,
I'm with you. Like CeeDee is very good, but I still think there's an argument to be made with CeeDee and Amon-Ra. I think they're like right there on the same level. I would say. I think tier 1 you would go Justin Jefferson.
You know how I feel about Puka.
He's good, but give me Amon-Ra. I think you'd have to. I need more, man. Hey, give me a little bit more, huh?
Oh, he'll give you more. He'll give you more this year.
Right,
It's funny. By the way, people, we posted that Puka Nacua reel on our YouTube, and I saw people were we posted on YouTube, but we posted on Instagram and everything. The biggest thing people say when they hear Brad say, "I wish I would have drafted Puka Nacua," is we have Puka at home with Isaac Tesla.
Yeah, that was the comments of that was.
Yeah. I mean, look at Klotz goes Chase Jefferson, Puka Neighbors, Amon-Ra. This guy with Malik Neighbors. I don't deny that. I don't deny that, to be honest. I wouldn't put him that high. I'd put CD over Neighbors, but right now. But yeah, whatever you want to do. Who do we have here?
This guy looks so different.
Yeah, this is like business deals. I mean,
this is like something. The doc might be on a contract here with Sports Illustrated. I think he's on a contract year.
Yeah, it's contract year. Yeah.
I think he has the executives that are just constantly watching him. How's he doing? Checking the numbers, because there's been a drastic change in the way this guy approaches the game and covering this team.
He doesn't have where's his wife beater and bucket hat? That's what I want.
What was that? That was a couple months ago, and then all of a sudden now we just got the most cleaned up doc that I've ever seen in my life.
Well, the doc will be joining us in a minute. Before we do that, I got to tell you about the sponsor of the show, and that is Comer and Cross. Just like the doc, Comer and Cross, nice and clean. They take care of their clients. One-day installation, concrete floor coatings for garages, basements, patios, pool decks, even driveways. They do it all. They'll move the stuff out for you in the process. They take care of their clients. So right now, during Comer and Cross' summer installation sale, they're offering 12 months same as cash or $500 in savings. Call the number 248-834-3488. That's 248-834-3488. Or you can book your free estimate at comercross.com. Free estimate. Just go book it. Find out if it's the right fit for you. Most of the time,
yourself some concrete.
Most of the time, it is the right fit for you. But let's get back to the show and welcome in our good friend who covers the Detroit Lions for Sports Illustrated, host of the Lone Wolves podcast, host of Detroit Lions on SI now on YouTube, which you can check out and subscribe to.
Hey, before we bring him on, I just want to say, I don't know if the doc can hear us right now. Hey, can the chat pump the guy up a little bit? Hey, everyone say something nice about the doc
tonight.
Emojis,
all right?
Say something nice about the doc tonight.
The guy has his own emoji. I mean, spam the doc emojis. Please welcome Mr. John Macaroon. John, how are we doing, my friend?
Man, you guys know it's camp time. I'm clean shaven. I'm handling business. I haven't left the office since broadcasting. I'm not even at home yet. That's camp life. And you guys are smart. You guys maybe have some real journalistic traits. You're questioning, why has the doc cleaned up? No, my situation at work is beautiful, but more and more people are finding out that there's a guy out there that covers the team, seems like a nice guy, seems like he's in the digital space. People like the information. And so, yes, I've had a lot of great, wonderful meetings about people who like the doc, and I'm sitting back enjoying these meetings, sharing, learning about different sides of the business in a lot of different ways. I'm enjoying it. And yeah, I figured the numbers are great in terms of the videos. I should clean up a little bit. And you perform how you dress and act. I feel good. And actually, you guys are like talking about it. Everyone's like, oh, you cleaned up. You know, maybe I'll scruff it out a little bit later. But guys, camp life is wild. It's nonstop. I could write 5 more articles, 5 more broadcasts. This is the best time of year, boys. It's great. Let's go. Pump it up, chat. What do you want to talk about? Did something great happen today? Let's go.
Hey, the chest hair's popping out today, Doc. I love it, man.
Yeah, the doc, you cleaned up, ready for today. We're excited to talk to you. You were there today, obviously, and a lot happened. The offense, well, I guess we'll start with joint practice. I'll start with kind of the offense because Amon-Ra St. Brown, no one could guard the man today, and he was on one. He did not drop a pass. I think L. Karsten put out that, he's probably in the range of 200 million yards on the day. What did you kind of make of his performance and just the connection there with Jared and Amon-Ra and how special that's been all training camp?
Yeah, no doubt. First and foremost, let's get the chat talking about me. Do you like this look? Should I scruff it out? Should I grow out the hair? Do you guys like what I look like?
Oh, man.
It's
we got to clip that. Let's get the chat talking about me.
Let's get the chat talking about the DOC. That's kind of
the doc looks good, man. He needs a little bit boost his self-esteem a little bit. Come on.
Yeah, boost self-esteem. Let's get comfortable here. We're going to have a fun chat over the next hour. Let's get comfortable here. I know some of
Doc, you got to button it up, man. You got to button that up. We're not doing this.
Oh, whoa.
Hey, I thought I thought Hefe likes it when his co-hosts are like bared out there. I don't know. That's what I was thinking.
This guy unbuttoned his shirt on the show.
Yeah, hold on, Doc. What are you starting OnlyFans or something? Button up the.
You're not starting OnlyFans on our show, Doc. That's why you created your own.
I want to get comfortable. I thought that's what the collective brains of great journalists do: is they get comfortable and they start letting it rip about what you guys are asking about.
Don't get too comfortable. You have a contract year at SI right now. Don't get too comfortable.
But yeah, Doc, golf and Amon-Ra, what'd you think?
It was awesome today, man. I had a front row view. Amon-Ra, I was standing there going, "Oh my God." He made a move on the defensive back, and he's still on the ground. It was like a quick stop-start move, and he got the day bumping, man. The crowd was into it, and there was a different vibe, man. Different energy. Dolphins came to town, and did you guys happen to notice that Grant Stewart told the doc, and you guys highlighted the podcast? Grant Stewart lit off Miami Dolphins Twitter. You guys really enjoyed Miami Dolphins do not like Miami Dolphins fans don't like the doc anymore because Grant Stewart told the whole world through me that he felt like the Dolphins were going to be soft. And man, it was different. And what I loved about today was it had a feeling of like the Lions had a mission. Let's execute. Let's get back to being us. And unfortunately, who got the belt to ass? It was the Dolphins. And hey, it was great to see. And it was nice that Goff was connecting. He looked good. Amon-Ra, basically what a true leader does. Notices that the talk is about the offense. Let's go out there and abuse young defensive backs. He won all the battles, clean first team reps, a lot of touchdowns in periods where you're supposed to win. And it was awesome to see. And the great part was in front of fans, they all got to see it. If the Lions need a play, I don't think anybody's going to question that 14 should be the number one wide receiver for the Detroit Lions. It was a fun day today.
Hey, Doc, talking about the defense real quick. I know you had the Miami Dolphins SI guy out there as well. I can't remember if you were on offense or defense, kind of vice versa. But defensively, it sounded like the Lions defense dominated as a whole again. And obviously no TA, and they're still missing Aleem McNeil until who knows when in October. How was that defense today against finally a different offense instead of going up against Jared Goff and this John Morton offense? How did Aiden Hutchinson look and this defense look as a whole?
Yeah, no, today I wanted to look at the offense. So I saw everything in the pit, Lions offensive line against their defensive line. I saw a lot of the offensive reps, and my guy at Miami Dolphins on SI, good dude. He was somebody that was able to watch the defense and get after it. So it was a good opportunity to see both sides and to be able to see that the Lions defense was also dominant. And so the reports that you're seeing are that Aiden was all over the place. Zach Wilson threw a lot of picks, and the Lions defense was just as dominant as the offense. And from that perspective, it's great to see that, Tua was frustrated. They couldn't get into rhythm, and the Lions defense, kudos to Kelvin Shepard. They stepped up, and in a period where you're supposed to get a lot of touchdowns, the Dolphins were just a complete mess from start to finish on both sides. You had reporters calling it the most lopsided practice they'd ever seen. And from the offensive side, from what I saw, it just looked like that the Dolphins, once the Lions offense got rolling, they just didn't have a lot of answers. And it was great to see. It was a complete win. But remember, this happens early on. It's a new environment. You're getting your feet wet. You're getting acclimated. Tomorrow will be another test because the Lions did the same thing to the Giants when they came a couple years ago, but then the Giants also rebounded and had a better practice. Your manhood gets tested when you get punked like that and the whole world saying you're soft and you got punked. Let's see how they do tomorrow.
Well, Doc, to speak on the offense, how did the offensive line look just in your perspective? More positive reviews today with Taylor Decker back, but what was the difference today, you thought, just in their level of play from what you've seen, kind of struggling at times and looking like a new offensive line until today when they looked a lot better?
Yeah, they opened up run lanes early on. It was a nice test to see. It was a nice test to see Tate Ratledge moving guys forward. You could see him getting to the second level. You could see that Penei Sewell is ready to go. And so Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery were able to find rush lanes. What's impressive is that the Lions tight ends are willing blockers, man. They engage and they're forceful. Looking at 87 block and opening holes, it was nice. Now, there was a rep. I will throw the Michigan Wolverines a bone. Kenneth Grant worked one rep where Tate Ratledge didn't use the best technique. I was looking right at it. It was directly in front of me, and I wrote it down, and I actually showed At the time, I didn't recognize it was Kenneth Grant. I just wrote the number down, and then I saw that because I was watching the technique at Tate Ratledge. He was a little high, a little upright, and Grant got under him, got under his pads, and just bull rushed him right into Jared Goff. And then I'm like, oh, that's Kenneth Grant. I was like, wow, Kenneth Grant is going to be a monster, and he's forceful. But that's a good education for Tate Ratledge, battling against young defensive tackles that are going to get after it. But by and large, the day was won by the offensive line. They were good. They protected Goff. Now, there were times where, they would have a leak here or there, and there would be an issue. There would be a play that would technically be a sack, but those were few and far between. You would expect that to happen. And the issue was, though, if we're going to talk about the offensive line, hate to be the Debbie Downer, but it's weird because we can talk about it because of the play on the field during games. Manu stinks in practice. Like, that guy goes out there and treats practice like, hey, I got to learn, I got to get work. But there was a stretch there. The worst period was the second team period where he was the right tackle, and he jumped off sides. He had a false start, and then he got beat on 3 consecutive reps in a row that put Hooker in a precarious situation. So he had an awful practice. He was getting beat in the pit, and it was just like, I joke with Ben Raven. I said, oh my goodness, today's an easy day. 14 was awesome. 59 wasn't. But what's crazy is, and I like the fact that he admitted it publicly. He's like, yeah, I'm getting dominated in practice, but it lets me slow down the game. And it's not the same competition out there on the field in these preseason games. So I would rather have that than the debate that you guys were having earlier this week, where Hendon Hooker portrays himself to have a nice practice during the week and then goes out on the field during the final exam in the games and plays horrible. I'd rather have what Manu's doing in practice than Hendon Hooker, but Manu was terrible today. Awful. He was awful.
That's not good to hear. I want to bring up Isaac Tesla, the rookie. Me and Jeff just talked about, actually, if there's a chance Isaac Tesla ends up getting first team snaps week 1 over Tim Patrick. How did he look today? Kind of some more action. We did see him in the preseason, but more action versus another NFL team with the joint practices going on.
Yeah, man, the guy's confident. It's great. And like I said, I think you guys definitely were one of the early people talking about it and asking that serious question. A lot of the media would have poo-pooed that because Tim Patrick's a veteran, but he hasn't had a great camp, up and down, and missed some time. He self-proclaimed that he's struggling and not meeting his own standards. Dan Campbell tried to save him a little bit and said that, hey, he's hard on himself, but Tesla's made plays. Now, he did have a drop today in front of everybody, but he makes tough catches. He's reliable. What you like about him? And I guess we got to do it now because Brad said it, and we just have to say it. This guy better be the Puka replacement, because Brad broke my heart this week and set forth my anxiety when he goes and acknowledges. Listen, there are times when you just got to give the PC answer. When someone says, hey, which guy did you botch not getting? You just give the PC answer. Like, it's a tough gig. There's so many guys out there. I'm not so certain right now who I can think of. I've drafted a lot of good guys. Hey, in 2023, the top 4 picks were awesome. Remember 2023? Those first 4 guys were the cornerstone. Please do not come out there and say, I whiffed on Puka Nacua, because then I come out there and go, oh my God, 2023, Amon-Ra St. Brown, young Jamison Williams, young, hungry Jahmyr Gibbs, 4th down, you give it to Puka Nacua as opposed to Josh Reynolds. You set off my anxiety, because now I truly feel that the Lions could have had that Super Bowl in 2023 if you would have drafted Puka Nacua, not Broderick Martin, not Hendon Hooker. Man, you guys said it, and I had to tweet it to give you credit. That 2023 draft is crazy. How good the first 4 picks are and how wildly bad potentially the bottom 4 are. And you could have had Puka Nacua. So now we got to right the ship. Vanillatron, Mayotron, Iced Tea. My man has to be the Puka replacement, because unfortunately Brad said it. So I need you, Isaac Tesla, to be Puka Nacua. No pressure, but be solid, get after it. And so far, so good. He's confident. And today, man, it was awesome. And I got excited. I was like, oh, man, this dude, this defensive back was not happy with the Lions talking so much trash. He tried to front on Isaac Tesla. Tesla stood like, this dude was literally 5 inches shorter than Tesla. And Tesla fronted on him and was about to beat his ass. And it was great to see. He got aggressive, and he was not backing down from the physicality. And you almost saw it. It was like the moment where you front on somebody, you push chest to chest, and this little dude was about to get clowned by Tesla, but I think he knew that I'm not trying to get myself in big trouble here, and he knew that I'm going to beat this little guy up, and it was awesome, man. It was awesome to see him get aggressive, and the Lions, man, it was fun because they were talking a lot of trash to Jones, and he was not happy, and the more that they did it, the more upset he got. It was awesome because the Lions kept winning reps and embarrassing Jones, and they kept talking about it. And it was just a fun experience, but no pressure on Isaac Tesla, but he's got to be Puka Nacua. That's all.
Yeah, well, yeah, just be Puka Nacua, and then we'll be all right. What about Jameson Williams? I know today he had some drops, but what did you make of kind of his level of play today? And just, I mean, his camp's been really good, but today up and down, what'd you think?
Yeah, it was, they tried. St. Brown brought the crowd out of their feet, and J-Mo in the early portions, he was getting open clearly, but the connection wasn't there with Goff. And what that meant was J-Mo was getting open. Goff wasn't finding him in the early part, but it's the early part of practice. It's early competition, and J-Mo showcased improved route running. I liked his intensity. I like the fact that he's now a perfectionist. He's not happy when balls are not delivered where he thinks that they should be. I like the overall presentation. Now, the execution could have been better. Yeah, there were times where he was open and they didn't connect, but today was about Amon-Ra. Today was about the part that you would like to see is eventually when J-Mo and Goff get it in rhythm and they're consistent, that you would see what Goff and St. Brown have. They're just simpatico. It's like they know. It's wild to say and describe, but Amon-Ra knows exactly where he needs to be. His depth of route is perfect on every route that he runs. He's exactly where he needs to be, and Goff delivers the football exactly where it needs to be. So that relationship, I need to see a little bit more with J-Mo. They're trying the deep connection. It didn't happen early in the one-on-ones, but there were times in the red zone he got the ball. And so it gets frustrating the more deep shots you take. So in my opinion, I think what just needs to happen is end arounds, a little bit more simple plays. I know that J-Mo's the deep threat. I know that he's got the supreme talent, but I would use him kind of similarly to Amon-Ra a little bit. Just get him involved in the passing game, get in some rhythm, and let him get some touches. I truly believe it's like a Deebo Samuel. That's the visual I kind of explain, is that he needs touches like a Terrell Owens. Get him involved early. Get him some touches, get him some screens, get him involved early, and then go for the green light home run balls. Because it's just tough to connect on those when the defensive backs are all over you. It's just tough, but the potential's there. But I would say today was not one of his better practices, but that's because J-Mo now is in that elite class where when number one's on the field, you pay attention to where he's at. And if you want to be entertained, chat, in my 2 hours, I don't know how I did this because I'm not used to talking for that long by myself. In my 2 hours, the doc did a reenactment of the fight that I saw J-Mo get in today, and I was J-Mo. Now,
can we get one?
It might be difficult to picture me as J-Mo, but if you can suspend disbelief and put yourself in my position, I reenacted the fight, and you can go watch it, enjoy it. You can and laugh your ass off because I portrayed myself as J-Mo, and he swung on Ife Melifonwu as if something was said last year or the one practice that Ife was participating with the Lions, but he was mad, and the Lions were not shy at the end of practice to get after it. I wish they would have let us film it. It would have been great. It would have went viral, but J-Mo swung on Ife, no helmets, but they broke it up pretty quickly, but it was a fun way to end practice.
Doc, you can't say that and not give us like an example. We need to see something here.
You have to. No, listen. Okay, I'll say this. I would say, and what I said on the podcast is, I would not fight a guy like J-Mo because he doesn't square up and just stand there. My man J-Mo does the thing where if you picture him in a fight, he's going to be doing the roundhouse 4 or 5 times before he connects. So that guy swings wildly. You know, picture it. We're all on X. We all watch those fight videos, and you see the classic ones where people are just standing there and they get like this. No, this is the one where they engage and he's just swinging. So he took a swing and it was a roundhouse. So my portrayal was funny, but I would not want to fight Jameson Williams because he's going to swing 4, 5, 6, 7 times and he ain't going to stop until he connects. So I would not fight Jameson Williams or Isaac Tesla. I walked away. My observations today, 1 and 18. don't come to Detroit and try to swing on our receivers because you're going to get dropped.
Fair enough. And I do want to bring up a player. We actually haven't heard about him today. Sam Laporta. How is Sam Laporta looking at joint practice today?
Rhythm, man. It's great. I'm impressed with the Lions tight ends. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more from Kenny Yeboah before his injury, but I'm impressed with Sam Laporta. I got to talk to Jack Campbell today, and it was cool. I was at the tail end of a conversation he was having with the collective, per se. But I weaseled my way in and found my way to talk to number 46. And I asked him, they were talking about the defense and his play today. And I said to Jack, I said, you're battling Laporta every single day. What do you see from his development? And the collective liked the question, which was good. They nodded and they liked the question. I was like, okay, that's good. And Jack said, listen, man, that guy is just a beast to battle against every single day. He's like, he's now a complete tight end. What does that mean? All the tools, can catch, run routes. He definitely praised Sam Laporta's route running. And he said, man, he's just and he looked like, basically he gave the look like, man, yeah, Laporta's wearing me out in practice because of all the guarding I got to do and matching up and what that guy brings to the table. And so he ended it with, best way I can describe it, Laporta is an all-around tight end. You know what that means? The man's willing to block. And the better he is at blocking, the more respect he's going to get from his head coach, and the better it's going to be for the Detroit Lions offense. So big season ahead for Sam Laporta. I think that I would presume that this offense is going to have a lot of opportunities for number 87 to get a lot of touches. So bank on it. I would think that most tight ends in these kind of new offenses are the security blanket for the quarterbacks. And what that means is big season ahead for Sam Laporta, and he needs it because he's a real weapon that Jared Goff relies on.
Doc, what have you made of, I think a quiet guy that hasn't gotten a lot of attention, rightfully so, has been DJ Reed. He's been very good. And I think Brad said it in the interview with NFL on ESPN. He said he's been the most impressive newcomer just because he called him an upgrade over Carlton Davis, essentially. But it seems like it's been that way so far in training camp where he's just reliable and he battles with Amon-Ra St. pretty much every practice. What have you kind of seen from him? I know you were watching more so the offense, but just from what you've seen of DJ Reed, how impressive has he been to you?
Yeah, quality individual. And it was fun, man. The Dolphins fans were quick. I was chalking a lot of junk to Dolphins fans on a lot of podcasts, and they were like, just pop on the film and see Jalen Waddle, where Mike McDaniel on tape goes out there. And so I was hoping Waddle was going to be out there. There was a play a couple of years ago where Mike McDaniel, I think it was on Hard Knocks or one of those football series, where he goes, oh, this is a one-play touchdown series. And it was DJ Reed on the Jets on Jalen Waddle, and he broke away. So I was thinking that, he's going to definitely remember that and get after it. But Waddle and Tyreek Hill weren't there. But I'll say this. Here's what you like about DJ Reed. He's very physical. His footwork is amazing. He's tremendous. He's always in position. He's rarely out of control with his body. And what you see is he has the ability to lock down, man. I watched the game. I was told to watch the game against Justin Jefferson, where in the midpoint of last year, I believe it was Jets and the Vikings. And it was amazing. It was one of those deals where he was able to shut down Justin Jefferson by blanketing him, 5-yard pressures early on, press man coverage. So here's the deal. That combination with Terry Arnold and DJ Reed is going to be great. And he also, too, here's something that's underrated. I did watch a lot of his film last year, and they didn't do the thing where Sauce automatically took the guy. They didn't flip the field quite a bit. So if there was a player that was a number one wideout on DJ Reed's side of the field, he would be on that side. And it wasn't one of those deals where they flipped the fields. No, if the number one wideout was on the outside on that side of the field, DJ Reed was on him. And he did a lot of good work. And the good thing about a cornerback is that when you make an error, you make a blunder, you get back after it. And DJ Reed doesn't, he's got a short memory. And I just think that he's a perfect fit for what Terry Arnold needs after Carlton Davis. But Carlton Davis, we can't discount. He made a lot of plays. And DJ Reed knows the pressure is on him. But this year for him, it's about getting his hands on the football. I think that growing his family has put a lot of nice perspective in his heart. And now he's ready to get after it. And he said, when football players come here, I've not ever really heard it and put that way too often, but he said to me in an interview, and he said it recently, He's like, this is football utopia. You battle, you grind. I'm going up against Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jamison Williams. How can I not get better myself? And so just like the Lions offense is learning and was crediting the defense is saying the same thing. Like, man, we have to focus, because if I don't focus on Jamison Williams and Amon-Ra St. Brown and Tim Patrick and Isaac Tesla, if I don't focus, I'm going to get embarrassed on tape. And that's not something I want to do in front of all my teammates at the Detroit Lions. So it's a perfect, I think, part of the reason why I'm not concerned about the Lions season. I still see double-digit wins, and I still see the thesis that makes sense, the most sense. You win a lot of home games and you battle on the road. I don't think they lose more than one game at home. That's 7-8 wins there. You get 2 or 3 on the road, you're at 11 right there. So I think that DJ Reed is a big part of the reason why this football team is going to be right there at the top of the division one more time in 2025. Reed Island.
I want to
Reed Island.
Reed Island. TA Island, more like it. I do want to bring up, Doc, I was actually texting you the other night about, by the way, my background is so crooked right now. I don't know what's happening. There must have been like an earthquake. The other night I texted you, Doc, about the backup quarterback situation. I got an argument. Me and Jeff went at it a little bit a couple days ago. And the situation was this, Doc. I'll break it down for you just so you have a feel on what our conversation was. And then I want to get your opinion on it. Obviously, Jeff has heard that Hendon Hooker's had a good camp as a whole. I disagree. I think he's had a bad Hall of Fame game and he had a bad second preseason game. And in between the Hall of Fame game and now, he's had a bunch of bad practices and just hasn't looked the part. And in that sense, I don't think, Doc, in my opinion, I think it's time to move on. You cut him, you cut ties and say, hey, if you want to be on our practice squad and you make it through waivers, which I think he will, we go ahead and run with that. And we'll either take Kyle Allen or, in my opinion, I think you go out and get another veteran quarterback. I want to get your opinion on that. One, do you think that Hendon Hooker, there's actually a really good chance he gets cut? And number two, has the guy had a good camp and has he had some bad practices over the last few weeks? Because I was told, Doc, that I'm false reporting and I'm a liar because I read your articles and I remember specifically multiple times and since the Hall of Fame game that he has struggled at training camp practices since that game. And Jeff says, well, he had a good first 3 weeks before the preseason game started. Don't really care about that, if I'm going to be quite frank. So I would love to get your thoughts on this, Doc.
So are we do I not get to share my side?
No, Doc gets to go. This is my question to the Doc.
Oh, so
you got to sit back and wait.
I'll validate you, Hefe. I'll validate you. No worries. And I think that what Hefe's saying is that there are periods where Hendon Hooker looks like he's making strides and having moments where he looks proficient. Now, we can take this a lot of different ways, but let's start with this. I want to bring up something a little bit as a side note, but it's going to tie into the main point. Hefe working with the collective, I hope doesn't turn him into those 3 guys. They're nice guys, but capital J journalists have a job to do, which is to also maintain a relationship with these players so they talk to them.
Jeff's a big J guy now.
That's what I'm saying. I'm a little
That's what I'm hearing.
He's acting like 1-2. Late for podcast. That's a capital J 101. Can't get on time when people are waiting, like the Doc, to be entertained by the collective. Now, here's the deal. And here's how you want to expand your mind. Okay. You can't report that Hendon Hooker's having a good camp when he's had the 2 final exams, which are what happens on the field. Those are the big tests. What happens in practice, here's what's reported. Hendon has stepped up and made a throw. Hendon has not held on to the ball at times so long. Did Hendon Hooker lead multiple touchdown drives? Is he beating Kyle Allen? Is he making it so that we say, cut Kyle Allen? Booner is coming out here saying, cut Hendon Hooker. So he's having an awful camp because he should be so far ahead. I want Hefe to pull up from the collective anywhere where it says, I believe that Hendon Hooker is way above Kyle Allen. At this stage, a draft pick conclusively. Now, I'm talking conclusively. Hendon Hooker's had an awful training camp. He got yanked from a preseason game, and he did not look good. He violated the one thing that Dan Campbell wanted. So that's not good. So those are 2 failures. Now, in practice, he has made strides, but those strides I'm not comparing Hendon Hooker to himself and to Kyle Allen. Can this man be somebody that if I looked at his assessment of what I see on the field and said, can you win me a game or two? The answer is no. Can you lead us in a way where you don't look lost? No. Can you avoid having happy feet in the game where the analyst goes, oh my God, the tight end is 15 yards wide open and you didn't hit him? No. And so here's the deal. And here's the background of what goes on. Monday, you saw a lot of positive reports. That was a 3/4 speed defense. That was not a real Lions defense. And I said that. I said, oh, this is one where they're trying to get the defense. And then all of a sudden you saw the same narrative across 9 different websites. And I said, slowly starting to get better because the defense wasn't trying. So here's the facts. As the standard of where Hendon's at for himself, he's better than he was last year. He's not holding it as long at times. He's looking like he's made progress. But in terms of NFL speed, the speed at which the coach would say, Hendon, you are at a remedial level as a backup. You need to step it up. And nobody, if you ask him directly and honestly, he's going to tell you that he's beating Kyle Allen right now. Just to be in the conversation with Kyle Allen is not exact. He needs to be so far ahead, leading touchdown drives, leading plays, making it easy. The first play that Kyle Allen gets into the series, he moves the football and connects deep. That's a bad look. So when people say, yes, he doesn't look like a total lost person in practice, but collectively, when you put all the reps together and you look at where a backup should be, that's not where he needs to be. He needs to be so far ahead of Kyle Allen that we're talking about, hey, okay, the competition's over. He's in a battle, and he's a player that unfortunately looks like a guy that is back to rookie status, is still battling maybe confidence that rattled him losing the football. You can't look lost out there as an NFL quarterback in the final exam. It's not good enough. And to me, if you're equal with Kyle Allen, I don't think you cut him, but I think that whoever loses the competition, if it ends up being 2 more chances and it doesn't get a lot better, I think that you may have to find another backup, a more veteran one that you feel like you don't have to. And what people do is they get all nervous and they go, well, if something happens to Jared Goff, it's over. Listen, you are able to, with the talent you have, maybe get, I wouldn't say Carson Wentz, that name, but in that vein of somebody that can be a pocket passer, that has some experience, that can come in here and just lead a couple drives, hand the ball off, and kind of be an ultra game manager like a Joe Flacco. Maybe it's a Heineke. Maybe it's one of these young rookies. But right now, with what you get from a draft pick, there's expectations. So you can't portray to me, when you collectively read what's happened with Hendon Hooker, yeah, he's taking strides a little bit forward from last year, but where a backup needs to be year 3, and the first year, even though he wasn't on the field, he was taking mental reps. He wasn't just ignoring work. 3 years in, that's not the standard. So I would tell the collective, I tell anybody else, raise your standards, raise the expectation of what a guy should be doing. And I would say that if you raise your expectation and you have a higher one, you can't look at Hendon Hooker and say, wow, this is great when I get yanked from a preseason game. It's not good enough, man. It's not. It's just one of those deals where, congratulations, you're shining in practice, but when we need you and we ask you to handle a mission, you don't handle it. It's not good enough.
Yeah, I think what you're saying, the point you're making, I don't disagree with, because you're saying 3rd round pick, raise your standards. Like, I think that's fair. I mean, Kirby Joseph was a 3rd round pick, so I understand what you're saying there. I think the thing I don't agree with is 2 things can be true, Doc. All right, hear me out on this. 2 things can be true. If you want to look at the final exam, I know it's for Hendon Hooker. Final exam for him would be preseason. He has not done good on the final exam, but we at least have to factor in the camp as a whole from what people thought of him. Like, for example, when Teddy Bridgewater came in, many people immediately, like Booner, my good co-host here, assumed, well, it's because he stinks, right? They bring in Teddy Bridgewater, this guy stinks. Going into training camp, and you said it yourself, like, he's taking steps forward. It just isn't translating to the games, which is everything. I'm not saying it doesn't matter.
Okay. Hefe, we end this argument quickly. Hendon
But can
Hooker
we just say he had a good training
from
camp?
a number 2 to a number 3. That would indicate factually he's taking a step backwards. That's it.
Yes,
he's number 3 quarterback. Right now, he is today, as we speak and enjoy this football conversation, he's the number 3 quarterback that is on this roster, which factually indicates a step backwards. That's it. So you're not having a good camp. Full stop.
Now, Kyle Allen is. Can we confirm too? Because you've been there every day. I haven't. Him and Hendon they've been. It's not like Kyle Allen's had like a bad camp and had good games. He's also been right there all pretty much.
Can we real quick before we go into all that, a good camp as a whole? I think, in my opinion, it has to be the last 2 weeks since the Hall of Fame game. I don't think you could talk about weeks 1 and 2.
Well, that's what we're talking about. That's what he was.
Yeah, but I think like when you're talking about Kyle Allen here. No, like Kyle Allen up here, Hendon here the last 2 weeks.
Okay.
Guys, the only definition you would say of good camp is there was only one question we all had. Do we like Hendon Hooker as the backup? As we sit today, every answer should be in the chat. No. He started the camp as a number 2, firmly in that position. Now you're getting beat out by Kyle Allen. How is that good? How is that good when you go into a game and you've had a nice week of practice and you flop? That's not good. Right now, when people said, when the question was asked, hey, Dan, are you concerned about the backup? Dan's like, I love Kyle Allen. I was excited. I was amped up. I saw him come in there and he looked like a backup. Those are the words that should be used by Hendon Hooker, about Hendon Hooker. He should be so far ahead of where he's at. He should be throwing touchdown passes. He should be leading touchdown drives. Can we get a little Shador in you, Hendon Hooker? Shador Sanders, a rookie, led some touchdown drives. That's all. We're not asking for much. We're keeping our standards quite low here for everybody else that's saying, oh, it's a good camp. But to me, if you don't lead touchdown drives, you don't score points, you don't protect the football, you look a little lost. And the TV analyst who works for the team, who's supposed to kiss your ass, is pointing out directly, whoa, you're leaving a guy, like you have happy feet so much that you're not looking downfield and leaving a tight end so wide open that he's like this and he would have walked into the end zone. That, to me, guys, indicates a guy that is battling confidence issues. He knows it's not hitting. This offense may not fit him. It's just all in a situation in which he needs a nice performance in the worst way, and it just isn't happening at the speed at which a third-round pick should be at. It should be further along. We should not be talking about Kyle Allen in any capacity as being the backup, and we are. So that indicates to any rational person disaster. I don't know why you need to make excuses for it. It's not good. He's not happy. He comes out and says, I had a 0 performance. When you say I had a 0 performance, that's a nothing burger. Then you follow it up with getting benched. Those would indicate a little bit of more serious current issues than, oh, he had a good practice on a Friday when the defense was running at 3/4 speed. Let's go, guys. Let's kind of step up our analysis here. He's not having a good camp. He's not. Simple as that.
Yeah, you based on your standards, which are third-round pick standards, yes.
Based on the fact,
there's no standards.
He's having a bad number 3 quarterback.
No, he's not.
I would go, man.
I
was the guy walking in with Goff. I was the man. I was the main guy that got the call. Now I'm the number 3.
Yes,
I'm not happy, and
Doc,
the team is not happy.
God refuses to believe Hendon Hooker's not playing well.
It sounds like he's happy as Hefe.
True. It's not true. If you want to go third-round pick standards, I agree with that. But let's get the fucking third-round pick out of the way. All right, he's a third-round pick. Yes, based on that, he should be playing better than Shador Sanders. I agree with that 1,000%. But I'm going with where his stock was. You even said it. He's taking strides forward. He just didn't translate it to the games. He just didn't. Those things, they're separate. He's still having a good camp. He just can't show up on game day. It's okay to say that.
So he's having a bad camp.
You're acting like he's Nate fucking Sudfeld, which is not true, Doc. He's not. Man. He has not been Nate Sudfeld this camp.
You can categorize it however you want. I don't go in any capacity. Remove where he was drafted. He started the camp at number 2. He now is clearly number 3. And so until he's back to number 2, there is no way that you can categorize it as a good camp. period. You've fallen on the depth chart. Your job is twofold. Run the offense.
It's a fact. Doc is spitting facts right now.
And keep your spot. Losing your spot is not good in any capacity. So right now, when the Doc or anybody with a brain creates a depth chart, it is
Kyle
Jared
Allen
Goff
is in the lead.
and Kyle
So
Allen.
he
At
took a
this
step
point-
back.
At this point, if he was having a good camp, he would be miles ahead of Kyle Allen, and Kyle Allen would be in the rearview mirror. Guys, Kyle Allen legitimately right now may be your backup quarterback when the season starts. That should not have been entering the conversation if you're having a good camp. The rest of what you're doing, Hefe, is just saying, well, he's not a worse quarterback than Nate Sudfeld or David Blau. We
No,
like him. Okay. But he's not a better quarterback than Kyle Allen on his own team. And I need him to be better. I need him to be much better than Kyle Allen. I need him to be much better than Kyle Allen.
Yes,
and
I
he's not.
agree
We're
with you.
having a conversation about the number 3 quarterback on the roster having a good camp. Let's just put in perspective that this guy needs to win a job. And right now he's losing a job. Losing, lowering on the depth chart, flunking the final exam does not equate to having a good training camp. He needs to step it up. So moving forward, if he doesn't in the next 2 weeks go from where he's at now to where he needs to, he's going to be doing a podcast with you and Booner and then the new collective with the athlete who is now an analyst. That's what's going to happen.
Listen, and that's fine. Obviously, Doc, I respect your opinion. I just think Kyle Allen just
You respect the facts. He's number 3 quarterback. He started as number 2.
Kyle Allen
is the number 2 quarterback right now.
Doc, you say, well, he was number 2 in the beginning of camp. They were battling pretty much all camp, and Kyle just surpassed him. That's essentially what just happened. It's not like it was Hendon was way up here, and then he just fell off a cliff. Like Kyle Allen, that's what I was trying to say earlier, and Boone interrupted and didn't even bring up my point correctly. Kyle Allen, I was going to say, he's had a pretty good camp too, right? Like they've pretty much had similar level camps. That's what's been reported, right? Both of those guys have been competing pretty much all training camp. One would have a good day. The other would have a bad day. One would have a better day. Blah, 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 blah. And then this past 2 games, Kyle Allen, well, the first game he had 2 picks, but he did some good things. But this past game, Kyle Allen essentially stole it, and he had a great game. And now it's like, well, Kyle Allen's QB2. But it's not like, I agree with the expectation thing. He's a 3rd-round pick, but I can't say Hendon Hooker's had a bad camp. Like a bad camp. He improved. He just shits the bed when it comes to game time, which that's a problem. It is.
Preseason counts as camp.
Okay. Then
but last preseason he was fine. So I don't know what it is.
Outside. Okay. So now we'll go into a different realm of quarterback evaluation. Does he lead the offense to scoring points in practice? Not consistently enough. Does he read the defense and get after it to the point where it's an advanced level from where he was? No. Does he have the capability of making leading throws to his wide receivers so that the wide receivers are open? No. Can he effectively scan the field and get to his 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th progressions where he needs to without running? No. Does he have happy feet? Yes. Is he in a situation in which some of his throws are misaligned to where they need to be based on location and depth of target? They're not accurate enough. So the things that you would clearly establish as growth are inconsistent at best. And look at what Amon-Ra St. Brown said today in his evaluation of football. Less mental errors, less issues with running the offense in the motion, less issues with tempo. There are things that pop up in his game consistently that indicate that the growth is not at where it needs to be. So he's expected this year to take a leap. And now he's taken a leap from here to here.
Yeah, you'd like to see it bigger, of course.
Yeah, yes, you'd like to see a bigger leap. And also you would like to see that you can take bad practices as Manu has done, but still translate to some more positivity in games. And so now moving forward, that the next step for him to have a good camp is to win the backup job. But at this point in time, even if he wins it, there's question marks regarding at this point in time, based on his skill set. If he were to enter an NFL football game with the ones, he might get Amon-Ra St. Brown killed. He almost got Craig Reynolds killed by a throw that should not have been made. And so that's why when people say, oh, we should put him with the ones, maybe now we should not put him with the ones, because he could put Jameson Williams and Amon-Ra St. Brown in a situation in which they go out there, and if the throw is not accurate and he makes a play that he's not supposed to make, those guys' careers now are in jeopardy. So he's got a long way to go. He's taken baby steps, but this is the National Football League. In year 3 as a backup, you should be further ahead in a lot of the throws and the progressions and the confidence that you have. And all I can say is this. If he was having a great camp, the man was walking after practice, walked from the edge of the field and walked all the way through to the locker room, and not one of the 50 reporters talked to him. I was like, wow, that's not good. Nobody walked up to him. Now today someone did finally, but in my humble opinion, the standard is get after it, win the job. And so at this very moment in time, he is in a competition that he's losing. And I would expect much more from someone with the talent level that I think he has. I think it's not even a talent issue. I think that it's a confidence issue. I think that bad plays are rattling him. And I think that also, too, in the heat of the fire, the processing has to just be that much faster. Kelvin Shepard's not taking it easy on Hendon Hooker. And you need to, battle those issues, battle those things, and get to that step where if you got confident, got into rhythm, and was able to make a couple more plays, I don't think that him getting back on track is a long shot, but in terms of how easily he can get rattled, I think there's clear ways now that he gets happy feet and he's somebody that doesn't secure the football. So those are things you got to fix pretty quickly, but he's not having a good camp, and he just has to develop a lot more.
Can I ask you then, from a Brad Holmes standpoint, like, do you think we know Brad loves guys he drafts. Do you think he is legit cut watch? Do you think that you think that's real? And not in your opinion. I'm saying, do you think Brad actually pulls that trigger? Do you think he cuts him?
Yeah. If the next 2 games continue to go this way, Kyle Allen's your backup, and you put him through waivers, you cut him with the hope that nobody takes him, and he'd end up on the practice squad. I don't think he'd leave the organization. You would chance it. Would anybody I mean, if anybody watches film and says, "Oh, I can correct it," that's taking a chance because he hasn't shown much. I do think there is a greater than likelihood chance one team would put a claimer on him.
I think so. Some team that's terrible, probably. Some team
it's tough, but I don't think that if he left the organization,
0 teams would claim him. What are we talking about?
I don't think that
he's not taking a 53-man spot up.
I don't think it'd be a loss that would be devastating that you would regret if you end up parting ways with him.
Jeff coming in. One team would take him. No, not one team.
It's not even my opinion. I just think we've seen in the NFL, teams think they can fix guys. I mean,
you claim him. He's a part of the 53-man roster.
Yeah.
Who's willing to waste a roster spot on a guy you have no clue? He couldn't make the Lions when he clearly he went into the preseason as the number 2 quarterback. Like, he lost the job.
You know who might do
it?
The Jets might do it.
Yeah, I mean, you'd be surprised, Boone. There's some idiot. There's some team that would do some shit like that.
The Jets might do it.
It'd be the dumbest thing ever if they did. They have Tyrod Taylor. They don't need him.
But he's out for the preseason. Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah, but he'll be there for the season, though, right?
Yeah, right. So
Tyrod Taylor or Hendon Hooker? Give me Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah, no doubt. Look,
man, look at this. Hendon Hooker's stock is so great during this great camp that Booner would take Tyrod Taylor over him at this point in time. He's having a great camp. You got to be at the point where he's like, no, I want Hendon.
Good. Tyrod's good.
Hendon's bad. I mean,
Hendon's bad.
He's bad. Jeff, there's like the fact that Jeff is dying on this hill.
Tyrod Taylor, who's bounced around the league, I mean, you are not in a conversation as a real quarterback. You are in a bad bucket. Right now, Jeff, Hendon's in the bad bucket.
Guys, I understand. I understand. Hendon Hooker,
bad bucket.
Like, stop, like, dying on the hill. That's not like
are kind of doing that.
No, it's because let me explain something to you, Booner.
Right,
dying on the hill means I still think he's good. Now you listen, right? Do I think he's good still? Right? Let's just clear that up right now. Jeff, here, do you think Jeff thinks that, Boone? Go ahead.
Well, if you don't think he's good, that means he's had a bad camp. So I'll just throw one right back at you.
Anyway, if I don't think
because before the camp started, you thought he was good.
If you're saying I'm dying on the hill, it means I still think he's good, which I've clearly stated. If you remember,
so he's had a bad camp. Thank you.
If we just did our 53-man prediction, I had Kyle Allen as QB2. Anyway, so I'm not dying on the hill.
Has he regressed since the camp started, Jeff?
Yes.
So he's had a bad camp. Doc, you win.
Hold on.
10-9 Doc or 10-8 Doc.
No,
it's over.
Bad camp. I thought For most of camp, what was being reported, he's had a good camp. As of late,
but he's regressed.
He's regressed.
That makes no sense. Do you hear yourself?
Booner, that doesn't take away from the majority of camp where he's improved. You do realize that, right?
Okay,
like, does that make sense to you?
I know what you're saying. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, like Booner,
you're the kind.
Go ahead.
You're the kind.
What's hard to understand about this?
You're the kind that would say, well, if you take out the fact he fumbled twice, he made some good throws. But I'm not taking out the fact that he fumbled twice, and that was a disaster. Now, did he make some good throws in that game I just watched? Yes, he did. But did he fumble twice? And one of them where his lineman got him killed. But if your lineman gets you killed, you're supposed to use the mobility that has been gifted to you by God that we all like to keep the football and sense that the pressure is coming and move away or eat the sack. So Jeff would be like, man, he had those 2 fumbles. Let's take that out. I like some of the throws that he had. He had a good game. No, by and large, Jeff, what we want to look at is, do you trust Hendon Hooker right now? Who cares about who reported he had a good camp or not? Right now, only question you need to ask.
Because the games,
if he's the number 2 quarterback, assume he wins it. Let's say he's the number 2 quarterback. He marches out there, home game, something happens. It's a 10-7 game against the Bears. Goff rolls his ankle. Are you nervous when Hendon Hooker goes out there with that number 1 offense? I'm scared crapless. That's my feeling right now.
All right, we'll move on. We spent way
answer the question. If Hendon Hooker is the backup,
this is the problem. Booner, this is the problem. Booner,
if he's the backup,
has nothing to do with me.
Yes,
I
didn't say anything. You just said my name. You just said my name.
Because I'm talking.
Exactly. You don't know what you're talking about. You're in an absolute blender right now, bud.
See, Doc, he rage baits. I'm not falling for it today. It's not
Just
happening.
answer the simple question. I don't care about definition. If he
Listen,
plays against the Bears and the
Doc,
defense, are you nervous?
Yes, because we've already done this 53. Man, Kyle Allen's QB2. Like, what? This is the problem with the misinformation Booner's putting out there.
You didn't say anything wrong. I asked you a question if he regressed.
It's simple. It's simple. You're not wrong.
You're blaming this on me. This is on you.
Jeff, you're not wrong. Jeff, you're not wrong. The only thing I would say is his mission this camp was one thing only with that argument. His mission this camp was to, when I asked that question, for everybody universally in the chat, the media that watches him, for everybody to say, you know what? His only mission this camp was, if something happens to Jared Goff against the Bears and it's 10-7 in the 4th quarter and he's leading that offense, his only mission this camp would be to make those answers, no, I'm not nervous. Everybody's answer is, yes, I'm pissing my pants. I don't want to see Hendon Hooker as the backup against the Bears week 2. That's a bad camp, and he's got to turn that around. Simple as that. Full stop.
Well, what are some other things? It's a preseason. All right.
Can I ask a question? I just want to ask other bubble guys. We're talking the bubble guys with Hendon Hooker. Who are some other bubble guys today that you kind of saw that might be on the edge there?
Yeah, no doubt. I look at it from the perspective of a lot of guys that I want to see that are battling the linemen. It was unfortunate one of the linemen got carted off. I thought that the 2 guys they brought in from the UFL are pretty solid. It was really coming out of that. I was so unfortunate that Kobe Sorsdahl, I thought he had a real chance, man. I thought he had a real chance to move things forward. So it's unfortunate. You look at it. This was tougher to assess from the roster bubble because there was a lot of ones playing, 1s and 2s. And a lot of it today was pro Lions. You look at it and you say, the Michael Neese and Kingsley Egwakun got to do a little bit better to take strides forward. They're having an okay camp, but there's pressure. Broderick Martin, I think, is flashing a little bit more, trending in a better direction as a depth piece. I think it's a little bit better. He made a couple plays and he is moving a little bit better. So it's a little bit better than where it was. The big one, Hendon Hooker, not great, moving in the other direction. Sione Vaki's got to do a little bit better. I think that Sailors is right on his tail, and Vaki had a fumble today, so that's not good. Malik Taylor and Jacoby Keeney-James, I think, are moving out of the roster spot. Tom Kennedy. Dominic Lovett, I think, has to get back and get after it because I think the player that is most on the surprise list that maybe might get cut is Lovett. He's good on special teams, but right now Jackson Meeks got that guaranteed big undrafted free agent deal, and he's making some plays here and there. So I'm curious to see. It stunk for, Cologne and Heron to be gone for a while. I liked what was going on with the development of some of the guys that were brought to the roster. So 2 other guys I think that probably need the biggest stock jump this week, 45 Ukwu and Mitchell Agude. I think that Nate Lynn and El Quidin have earned their spot, and I think Ukwu and Ukwu and Mitchell Agude have to step it up because their play hasn't been good enough. So some of the depth guys on the defensive line could do a little bit better.
What about other things you're looking for? Obviously, that the big thing's going to be watching. It's always watching the quarterbacks, but anything else you're looking to see? I know you mentioned Giovanni Manu playing better in games. Is there any players that you got your eye on this week, especially with these Miami joint practices, maybe under the radar guys that you think can make an impact and make a name for themselves this Saturday?
Yeah, I do think that
like your guy Keith Cooper.
Guys like Chris Smith, Hassanin continuing to develop. I do think a player that's going to be definitely a tough decision is Trevor Nowaski. The linebacker spot's interesting. Grant Stewart is doing his thing, man. He talks the talk and he backs it up. Nowaski and Zach Cunningham, I want to see between one of those two. They may only be one spot. So it's going to be a battle, and maybe it ends up going to Nowaski because of his special teams value. Unfortunately, guys like DiCaprio Boodle, Tyson Russell, Barco, I just think that none of the battlers in the defensive backs room are doing anything crazy. I mean, Boodle had a decent day today. I do think that 2 guys that probably are going to have the closest battle, and I do think that his stock is rising, he's making more plays. I think Lauren Strickland is on the outside looking in, and Kennelly and Rock Ya-Sin and Avonte Maddox are really kind of pushing ahead. So I want to see if some of the guys on the outside, like I just mentioned, Ukwu, Agude, Lauren Strickland, can some of those guys take a step forward this week in one of those games? So in this contest against the Dolphins, I think there's an opportunity. And again, Broderick Martin, I think we'll be given a lot of opportunity to make some plays, and I think he'll make some.
Hey Doc, we got mailbag questions. Can I bring up some of these? I got one from U of M Dad. He says, "Mailbag Doc, would the Lions be in a better position when a Super Bowl with Z Smith on the team?" I think that's an obvious one, Doc, but take it away.
Yeah, of course. I think that more pass rush help, the better. I think he's a guy that can spell. Marcus Davenport can teach Ahmed Hassanin. His value would be as a veteran leader, and so I would presume that too. Even if he doesn't, sign right now and gets to the end of camp, you bring him along the first month of the season, you really would want him peaking in December. So maybe they saw, man, he was kind of wore out by the time he got to the postseason. He wasn't really all that much when we saw him against the Commanders. If they can just kind of spell him a little bit, reduce his snap count, he can be that veteran closer that can get after it. So yes, the Lions would be in a much better position with Za'Darius Smith on the team.
So he's back with Cash Doll? Is this what is this the information we need to know, or what's going on?
I was told that that's not topic for on-air conversation, but being that I don't act like that and I talk about everything and everything nonsensical.
Who told you that?
This type of drama needs not to be in someone's sphere of influence. It's a distraction. It's a good one, but I would sit down, the psychologist, and be like, "Listen, Smith, we're going to need to button this up. This public on-air kind of stuff, this is teenage stuff. Like, if you are going to be with somebody, this is a way public nature, and I don't want TMZ outside our facility asking Cash Doll if you guys are dating. So button this up, figure this out, and get after it. On again, off again is volatile. It's not good for your mental health. It's not good for the health of the team, and it's not good for, people like me who are going to talk about it. And I just think that a clear-headed, distraction-free Za'Darius is the best version. Now, if he is in love and it ends up turning positive, I just need her to stay away until February. Just figure it out. Create an album. Listen, here's the time. Make an album and let Za'Darius cook, because we need him to win a Super Bowl. And on again, off again is never good for anybody. If TMZ cameras are there, I'm going to be right there in that camera being like, "Yeah, are you guys together? Like, what's going on?"
Yeah, that's maybe Big Z needs to come see you, Doc. Maybe Big Z needs to sit down with the DOC, I think.
So it's no longer boat season, is what you're saying, Doc.
Yeah, Ben. Okay, so I will ask the chat and ask you guys. Was it stupid to ask Dan Campbell who would win a race between J-Mo and Tyreek? Now, I knew I've thrown a lot of serious questions out there. I thought maybe he would give a half answer that would be noteworthy, but I was like, I said on my podcast that I would ask about it. And so I asked it in a way where I was being positive. I said, most people in this, most fans want to know and are interested in the speed guys, J-Mo and Tyreek. Give me the supporting reason why J-Mo wins the race. And then the second I said race, he said, I'm not answering that. So he was in serious mode today.
He shut that down.
He shut that down. Well, listen, you have to.
Well, he should just, have your guy be like J-Mo.
No, I didn't. No. I didn't ask who wins the race because that's silly because he's going to say J-Mo. I asked why. So I would have looked for something like, well, we've seen top end speed. Have you seen him out there? I think that he could also do it in a way where he would have said, if I went perfectly, he would have said, man, I think it would be a tight race. I would give Tyreek the early lead in the first 30 yards, but then I think J-Mo and his rides would turn on the afterburners and win the race. That's all I was looking for. But it was nonsensical. I know I've done 12, 13, 14 serious questions in a row. I had to throw a curveball, and I'll get back to being serious moving forward. But I'm that way. I say what I say, and I wanted to ask it. I asked it nice and loud and delivered it clearly. But you have to ask some questions sometimes that might get shot down. But I always said on my podcast, there's always somebody behind me giggling that likes the question. So whoever that is, that just goes that laughs, it makes me feel good, like it's not totally stupid. But I don't care. I don't care to admit that some questions I ask may be stupid, but they're interesting. And I think the chat would agree that was an interesting question, at least to throw out there. And some of the columnists were like, Jameson would whoop his ass. And I was like, yeah. He's like, go tell that to Tyreek. He's not here. I was like, he's not here. Darn it.
Well, Trey says, is Jackson Meeks?
Jackson Meeks is crazy.
Jackson
I don't know if that's disrespectful or not. But
Trey
or Lovett going to win the last wide receiver roster spot.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
That sounds like
how I do in text. You just kind of just throw it out there, and I respect the way in which you you ask that. You always start with the caveat. Brad Holmes loves his draft picks. It's unfortunate that Lovett's not there. Availability is a skill. Right now, currently, Jackson Meeks, I think, is a little bit in a better spot. But Lovett, you always got to remember that draft picks get a little bit more leeway of an opportunity. But Brad Holmes did open the door. He said in a radio interview, he said the hardest thing that we're seeing is that these young guys can't crack the roster because that, these young guys are seeing that there's so many veterans. It's the roster's so good that they both may not make it. And that's a good thing because you got Isaac Tesla, you got number 11 who makes plays, you got Kennedy battling for spots. So they both may not be in a position to make this team. So that makes the final two games really, really important. But right now, they're neck and neck with a slight edge to perception-wise, love it because of the draft pick. But in terms of performance on the field, availability, trust, and some connection developed with Hendon Hooker and the quarterbacks, I think that right now it's like 51-49 in favor of Jackson Meeks.
Love it. Hey, Doc, we appreciate the hell out of you as always, man. All right, you have a good night. You look professional. I mean, this guy had a late
You look
day.
good. You really do look good.
Yeah, you look good. You got your polo on. You got your like fat head behind you. I don't know what year you got that one. That one looks like a.
Has anyone told you in Allen Park, hey Doc, you're looking good right now? Like Dan
yeah,
Campbell.
Said, oh, clean shaven. Brad Galley said clean shaven. Listen, I mix and match.
Has he gotten you on his show yet?
No, he hasn't. He's still not had me on his little interview show yet. But listen, I'll say this.
It's tough.
I'll say this. The Doc is a little bit more of an outsider than he would really like to be, but I'm okay with the role that I have. The numbers are great. I mean, literally, I inadvertently backed into pissing off the Dolphins fans and having a story go worldwide where every site is doing the blessing for me. It was like half the people aggregated it as Lions on SI, and then half the people did Detroit Sports Podcast. The podcast blew up because I put the audio. You guys talked about it. And it did record numbers, and it wasn't even intended. It was just intended to talk to Grant Stewart. I didn't make that the headline. And so when you back into something so beautiful, I'm not going to toot my own horn, but I'm having the camp that I would envision with the skill set that I have. So in essence, Jeff, I'm not having a Hendon Hooker camp. I'm having an Amon-Ra.
This guy
camp.
doesn't stop.
I'm having an Amon-Ra camp to the standard of when the doc puts stuff out, people talk about it and they listen and they like it. And by all metrics of having a good camp, the DOC is not a number 2 backup. He's a number 1 alpha.
We get it. Okay.
This guy said I'm not going to toot my own horn.
I'm a
and
number
just
1
went
alpha.
on a 4-minute rant. Hey, I love you, Doc. Oh, he just left. We tried. That's unbelievable. I think that went really well.
Yeah, he. I don't know if I want to battle clean shaven Doc ever again.
Listen, I messaged
No,
you
I
on the
love
side. Said, listen, I had my battle with Doc a couple months ago, and he just didn't let me talk. And then after he went 10-8, I win. And there's nothing you could do at that point. You just take the loss and run with it. You're not beating that guy. You aren't.
By the way, I saw a question for Doc that I'm going to steal because it's a good question. AG's Burner said number 1 running back and wide receiver in fantasy. Who would you say? Because I actually like that question. I actually have my draft this weekend. This
fantasy
next week.
running back. I think this, and people might hate this, Bijan's going to be good in fantasy. I think I saw something. I was watching ESPN. They did their draft, and they said since like week 9 of last year, he was the number 1 running back in fantasy. And it was because they just realized, hey, if we just give the ball to this guy, we're probably going to win some games, And that was when the Michael Penix switch, all that happened. So I think Bijan, you can argue Bijan or Jameer. Wide receiver, Jamar Chase. Easily.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I would probably, I like Bijan just because he's going to get more carries.
For sure. I think the split.
And because of the Penix thing. Like Penix, they're going to want to run the ball a lot. Yeah. But Jameer's right there. It's probably between those guys. I've seen Saquon go like 7, 6.
I'm on the camp too. It's nothing against Saquon.
Back-to-back fantasy running backs.
Yeah, it's tough, dude. It's tough to go back-to-back years. Christian McCaffrey does it, gets hurt the next year. We've seen Saquon with injuries. I'm not saying he's not going to be good if you draft him, but there's still that chance. Like, it's hard to put a back-to-back year like that together. It is. It's really tough.
Burning Issue says, Mailbag, who wins in a fight between Sewell and a gorilla?
I'm taking Sewell no matter what versus anyone.
Yeah, I think my brain says gorilla, my heart says Sewell.
Yeah,
the gorilla. By the way, I went to the zoo last week. I went to the zoo last week, and I got to see a gorilla. And I think I was looking forward to seeing it because of the 100 people versus gorilla debate. So I was like, I need to see size it up in person.
You don't want to mess with them, dude. Gorillas are crazy. By the way, zoo very underrated. Great spot.
Oh yeah, very underrated. But confirmed, you ain't beating a gorilla. ETN Mailbag, who wins an NFL QB Royal Rumble?
Is it Royal Rumble
fighting?
Is it like in the WWE? I guess where they're constantly running in.
I'd probably take Josh Allen.
Yeah, that's a great one actually.
He's probably the best equipped guy.
Tua's losing for sure. Drake May's losing. Fields probably
go
no.
Josh Allen, dude. He's big, 6'5", big dude. I don't know who else. If Cam Newton was playing, I'd go Cam Newton. If he was in his prime,
Ben Roethlisberger was playing, I'd go Big Ben.
Yeah, for sure. Baker Mayfield, he's got grit.
Blake Bortles is out of the league now, right?
Yeah.
Blake would be a good one.
Mailbag over under 50,000 fans at Ford Field Saturday.
What does Ford Field hold?
It holds 60-ish.
Probably over. Yeah.
So that's damn near.
They'll sell out. Yeah, Lucas said Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson would not. Anthony Richardson would probably get hurt jumping into the ring.
John just texted 10-7.
Yeah, see, I love he did it to me. I swear I beat him when we had our argument a couple months ago, and he posted it online too, and it blew up. Just Doc beats Booner.
You can't get mad at it.
No, Doc's the best, man.
Yeah, he's the best. Appreciate you all. Great show today. We'll be back tomorrow, 8 p.m. We'll be at training camp tomorrow as well. So if you see us, if you're going there, come say hi to the fellas, man. Come hang out. We always get, people show love down there to the fellas. It's great. It's a lot of fun. We'll be down there watching joint practices. Come say what up. I think Easy and Spenny are going, so we're going to hang out with them, and we'll be checking it out.
Should be a good day. Pumped up.
Until then, we will catch you all.
Love you guys.
Peace.